Hello everyone and welcome to another one of my little brief excursions. This time we're doing a bit of an irony in this game, in this case.
SEGA.
We're tackling a game based on something that I hate. This is Sega Bass Fishing.
Originally released for the arcade and then ported pretty much almost everywhere.
Don't tell me, Dwibs, you had a bad fishing experience and fell in the lake.
Now, I just think fishing's fucking boring.
I also
about
love how they're
patience and
trying to make
outsmarting
it
the
so
fish.
hardcore when it really isn't. Foggy
You know,
I
will give Sega credit. They pretty much did their job in making any action look like it was the coolest thing whatsoever. So of course one of their big exploits was indeed fishing.
That being said, even if I don't particularly care myself, also that PNG, borders, Jesus. I don't understand why Sega didn't just continue this. They did one sequel, and then there was that teaser towards the Sega Bass Fishing over that, but that was on April Fool's, and that's it. Nothing more than that. Sure, the minigame in Sonic Frontiers, but that's
Adventure?
Frontiers
Oh.
recent is the most recent thing, but that's kind of it basically.
I wonder if maybe there wasn't as much a market for fishing games later
Again,
on.
just a low budget kind of deal. A lot of companies these days will understand that you can try having something low budget released for $20 and be okay with it. No, everything needs to be super photorealistic and with a Hollywood style plotline. Otherwise, it's not worth selling.
Imagine a quadruple A game dedicated to fishing.
Alright, here are protagonists, which have no name as far as I know. This Discount Terry Bogart.
Male fisher and woman fisher.
Boy, I can't wait these people to show up in Project Cross Zone.
I know, right?
Huh.
So, dare I ask if there was a narrative and lore behind the series?
Oh, don't worry, Jim. There's an extensive lore. The main character likes fishing, and they go and do fishing.
I think you were missing an E if you wanted to call him Dune.
Nah, I just want to call him Don, because I'm done with fishing.
Ha 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 ha!
Hilarious.
Hilarious.
Large area. Enjoy your fishing. Select the lure.
Does each time of day affect like difficulty or whatnot, or is
Or
it
the
literally
presence
just
of
about
fish
your
is,
set dressing?
Bad to guess.
Not particularly. It's just. Well, but here's what you can do. You can circle what bait you want to use, where you want to cast your rod.
I also love the gratuitous English done by what is clearly a Japanese voice actor, kind of like in House of the Dead. We gotta get out of here.
Yeah, I'm guessing because this has basically no story.
Oh, I think it's
essentially,
about
they
to
pretty
get
much
now. Basically, when the fish is not biting, something happens.
What?
It's gone.
Who made this fort? Just for
Well,
that, and keep in mind, it's not a one-time thing. Every time the game has to transition to the state of fish is gone, and again the character says, it's gone, every time there's that split frame where the fog effect underwater completely dissipates, and I don't know why. The engine just decides to have a fart.
It's weird, murky, and potentially creepy. Yeah, I can imagine this came from the same company that gave us Echo the Dolphin.
In House of the Dead.
That too.
Enjoy your fishing.
Imagine a crossover between Echo the Dolphin, House of the Dead, and Sega Bass Fishing.
This is the final battle.
And it turns out to be a fishing match with a zombie.
So yeah, that went not very well, but that was just a practice
Fish!
one at least.
I love the Virtua Fighter style or Outrun style of font. Fish!
But hey,
No.
this is... I lost it.
Now, far be it from me to be ignorant of the intricacies and wonderment of the Sega Bass Fishing franchise and all it has to offer, but is this pretty much it?
Pretty much.
Yes.
There is no story to speak of, and again, this is on a port from an arcade game, Al. Yeah, that's what your mom said to me last night.
Okay, yeah, because this definitely does feel like an arcade game that I guess got expanded into its own console
And
game.
it's similar to stuff like, say, Outrun, where it was a pure arcade experience without necessarily having a story attached to it. There is something akin to a tournament, kind of, that Dwibs will showcase later on, but that's kind of it.
I do agree that there could be a place in this world for this, to come out as like, a $20 installment at most, maybe, sort of franchise, but otherwise, I would say at least just have this be like a mode in games, which, is kind of what they did with
Nintendo
Sonic
managed
Adventure.
to make this one of the mini-games for the Street Pass Plaza function for the 3DS, and that one not only had a more complex system and was fun to play, but it was also free. Like,
It was.
Nintendo does what Sega doesn't.
Yeah, I don't know how much I paid for this game, if at all, because this was part of the Steam Dreamcast collection, which no longer is available for sale. So,
Time bonus.
yeah, you could buy the whole thing, or you could buy individual games. So yeah, it is pretty much. You go around catching fish, you have to hit a set target, of which I'm not too far off, and then try and do all that within the time limit.
Which is almost
like,
about to run out.
Yeah, it's like Crazy Taxi, except fishing.
What did that thing package? Like, did it have Sonic Adventure in it as well?
That I don't really know too much of,
All right.
I'm afraid.
Alright, I'm looking it up on Wikipedia. Let's see. Assuming this was the one that came to Xbox 360 and Microsoft Windows, which would probably mean Steam by extension, it apparently came initially as 4, but then later added on 3 as part of the Steam reissue. Like, for the original release, the ones included were Crazy Taxi, the Dreamcast port, of course, Sega Bass Fishing, which we're playing right now, Space Channel 5 Part 2, yes, they started off with Part 2, and finally Sonic Adventure. And then apparently later for the Steam reissue, they included Jet Set Radio, Sonic Adventure 2, and, of course, the battle content is available as DLC. And then, oddly enough, included Nights into Dreams from the Sega Saturn. Now, my guess as to why they included Nights is because I do recall there was a time where Nights was considered, like, definitely one of the faces of Sega. Like, okay, big enough so that it was showing up in Sonic titles, essentially.
Bigger question,
cameos,
what Sega IP does the company have, technically ports on Steam right now? Pop quiz, I know, right? Because there's the Panzer Dragoon remake, technically. Same goes for House of the Dead. But other than that, the whatever Sonic Jam is packed in, I guess.
Wasn't there a Billy Hatcher port?
Dreamcast.
Oh well, no. It got a port to Windows.
I'm talking about
Europe exclusive.
I'm talking about Sega Saturn stuff that got a port.
Sega Saturn stuff. Yeah. Good lord, the Sega Saturn. Well,
because
okay.
Most of the
aside
stuff
from
was not localized like Shining Force.
Honestly, maybe that's part of why they considered Knights also big up there with Sonic for a time, because Knights was basically the Sega Saturn's Sonic title, essentially. Like, it's even been described as basically Sonic in the Sky. Sonic himself even showed up in the game as well, essentially, with his own campaign. Good lord, the Sega Saturn.
Okay, so in terms of development of the game, in Japan, this game is known as Get Bass.
I mean, I guess you can say that again.
Yeah, and there have been other ports of this game as well as arcade, Dreamcast, and this one. It was included in Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth recently.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the Yakuza / Like a Dragon games are basically secret emulators of old Sega games that you get just to actually play them. Which is it's so bizarre that Sega doesn't have standalone releases for these when it showcased when they're perfectly functioning. Oh yeah, and by the way, that's what my mom said to you last night instead.
Time bonus.
The composer of this game was a guy named Sachio Ogawa, who was at Sega for a while.
Good lord, the voice actor had a ball with this.
I don't even... Who was the voice actor?
I don't think we know. Like I said, probably one of the people that also did voices for the House of the Dead. Just the people who were able to speak English that they had
Kazaki Nemiya.
Mm-hmm.
Is Sega Marine Fishing considered part of a Sega Bass Fishing franchise?
No idea.
I don't really know. But hey, we did
what does that
somewhat.
mean?
We got a certificate. We got the participation award
for being 47.
Hooray!
I tried to put in SCWRM, but I love that. It's just a JPEG. I just typed game over it.
Game over, yeah!
Please enter your name.
I tried fitting in all our letters, but the game wouldn't let me. You get more letter space for this. So what am I going to call me?
Oh.
No way.
Job, like the prophet. Jobber.
Oh god, Jobber.
J. Auber. Jonathan Auber is on the warpath right now.
So
yeah,
basically,
I was thinking of a name on the. I was thinking of a name on the fly, so I just came up with Jobber because hey, that's a wrestling term.
I mean, it's definitely a term used in a lot of cases.
So,
I'm sure Vegeta would know all about it.
You need to get into the top 10. Let's see how Dwibs can last, shall we?
Yeah, wow. Me, known for my enthusiasm for fishing. How well will I do?
So, are there like special victory cutscenes at the end, I wonder? Or...
Again, it's an arcade game. If I recall correctly, it's just the announcer saying, "You did great," stuff like that.
Oh god, it's a very basic arcade game because even arcade games usually would give you some sense of victory if you made it to the end with
this one's
maybe
a bit different.
Cutscene or whatnot. What?
This one's a bit different. It still has a timer, but it goes up from one time to the other. In this case, I've got from 6 a.m. till 10 a.m. to catch a bunch of fish.
I love how the fish like that was just looking at the lure. He's like, what the fuck is this shit?
I know, it's like, okay, come on, this guy can't be that much of an amateur. I almost want to get caught just to pity him. But yeah, okay, I've studied up. Yes, Sega Marine Fishing, released in 2000, is apparently actually a direct sequel to Sega Bass Fishing. Apparently in that game, you catch fish, you earn item cards, and items earned with those cards include fish and artifacts for an aquarium, fishing equipment, additional boats, and various goofy accessories such as different colored shorts. Huzzah!
Yeah, seems to be the natural evolution that a fishing game that wants to have replayability value would put in.
It did have 2 modes for online play, tournament fishing and fish mail. In tournament fishing, players would compete to catch the biggest fish within a species, and fish mail consisted of writing short messages, essentially, which other players could catch and receive. Basically, you'd write a message and then another player could receive random messages by catching fish who, I guess, ate the notes or whatnot.
Okay, man, the effect of the water surface while looking underwater can be very distracting. I'm not sure how much of a scale of epilepsy warning can be, but I can tell it's not particularly great looking.
It's definitely in that growing pain phase of how well water was rendered in games, and I get it. I guess the idea is to really give that sense of oh, this is the separation of the surface and the bottom of the lake and whatnot, but again, it's definitely something that was a work in progress. Like many things, I'll just say, thank goodness it got better over time.
Yeah, I mean, there's all sorts of fishing terms that I don't really understand. Like,
Really?
Real bait, hook,
what does W10th mean?
Water
that's the water
temperature,
temperature.
But it's using Fahrenheit, so you know, unlike this game, I'm a civilized person, so I cannot understand this barbarian
I was
language.
gonna say, what's wrong with Celsius?
Well, what's wrong with Fahrenheit?
It's
incredibly misleading.
it's quite literally built to piss you off for being out of scale. Again, the metric system is so precise, from 0 to 100 and minus 100 in case, you know. It's simple, concise, and easy to understand. But no, here comes the specialty in the class of Fahrenheit.
Yeah, like, okay, I won't lie, even as somebody who was raised on it, thankfully my school's taught me both this and the metric system variants of whatnot, so I can definitely get people who look at us funny. Granted, from what I recall, America's not the only country that uses these units, apparently some others do.
It is called Imperial, so it is co-shared in almost every English-speaking country, so, you know, Dwibs at least has some presence to it, and I guess Australia and Canada to an extent.
And I guess David Cage considered Fahrenheit was a better name for a game than Celsius. So,
4 hours, and I caught nothing.
So you jobbed.
Congratulations, Dwibs.
Yeah, so I'm just going to do what any good fisher would do. Give up and go straight to the credits.
And he rides off into the sunset, a true loser to his people.
Hooray, I caught nothing.
We tried nothing and we're out of ideas.
So, that was Sega Bass Fishing, aka how someone who doesn't like fishing will do in this kind of game. Really badly.
Conquering hero?
I mean, I can admit I wouldn't be able to do much better, but I had to commend you, Dwibs. Props for actually sticking to the mouse and keyboard setting instead of using a controller.
It was just keyboard.
Yeah. Still, again, for the assemblies of Final Thoughts, as I said, I think there is potential in this. This is honestly prime small budget remake material. Again, not necessarily even to add stuff like a story mode, but you know, revamp a bit the graphical department so it doesn't cause you a potential seizure. You know, maybe had a tutorial that eases you up into doing things, and you know, if you have time, add some minor quality of life improvements like different environments, a name for your main characters, and stuff like collectibles that you can find. You know, there is potential to be done in this, so I wonder if Sega eventually can give it another look at this. Then again, the IPs that is revitalizing right now are proceeding as low as molasses, since we just got Shinobi, but there's still stuff like Jet Set Radio, Crazy Taxi, Golden Axe, and so on that are still, you know, a way to go. So I get the idea. The idea for this is not even close in their minds right now, unfortunately. Java, what do you think?
Yep, this is certainly an arcade game centered around fishing. And you know what? If you're into fishing, I do get the feeling this is probably going to be the game just for you in that regard. Not really my thing, and, you know, again, there's only so much I could do with it. But again, look, it's a game that covers a niche, and one that covers it well. Who am I to say that it does it terribly, essentially? Obviously, I will agree, though, that there is room for improvement, and hey, maybe, you know, improve this in a remake. Who knows, maybe we'll check out Sega Marine Fishing sometime in the future and see how much that improved on stuff. Maybe it did it immensely and whatnot. But for this game in and of itself here, I feel like it's a good, valiant effort to give people the joy of fishing. without having to really take into account what really goes into real life fishing. But it's a good estimation. I will give it that.
Dwibs,
It's fishing, and you could go around and stuff. I mean, it perfectly sums up fishing, in my opinion. It's really
Again.
dull and extremely not worth it for how long you're out there on the lake.
But Dwibs, remember, fishing is about patience. It's the virtue of that patience that nets you the reward of an amazing catch.
you, your
That you have to
friends, and
put
your
back in the sea. That you have to put back in the water anyway.
you, your
Wait,
friends,
wait,
and your
wait.
Johnson.
Love that commercial, but hey, who says you have to put them back each time unless you don't like fish?
It's the catch and release method that Canada popularized.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So that was Sega Bass Fishing. I would say I hope you enjoyed it, but it's fishing, so whether
I
you
mean,
enjoy it or not is
I
really
can-
really down to you.
I can imagine they are fans, Dwibs. Come on.
So join us next time where we tackle something maybe a bit more in my wheelhouse. I don't know. Whatever it is.
Yeah.
See ya.